is named after the Greek Titan who was credited for making man out of clay and stealing fire from the gods in order to advance civilization. We thought it was appropriate to name our mission after this because it is not just for science, it's for civilization.
A major concern on our mission is the effects of radiation on our astronauts. This radiation comes from three sources. The first source is galactic cosmic radiation, another is solar radiation, and the last is radiation from our nuclear generators. Radiation causes damages to our astronauts. One of these forms of damage is in the form of cancer, while another is nervous system failure. In order to protect our astronauts, we use three different safety methods. These three methods of keeping our astronauts safe from radiation include water shielding on the cycler vehicle, regolith shielding on the Phobos habitat, and distancing our nuclear reactor from our astronauts on Phobos. A large amount of shielding is necessary to keep our astronauts safe. On the cycler vehicle, 1,200 tons of water is necessary to keep a 2-meter thickness of shielding around the entire perimeter of the vehicle. 1,200 tons of water equates to about 9 different launch vehicles worth of water.
The ultimate goal of this mission is to colonize Mars, which will require several trips over time to transfer people from Earth to Mars. In order to do this, and in order to minimize cost while we do this, the cycler vehicle was created to be reusable, in that it continuously follows a ballistic trajectory that travels between Earth and Mars like a bus system, and we call this the S1L1 orbit. Now the S1L1 repeats every 2 synodic periods, which is about 4 2/7 years. This will get people from Earth to Mars in about 4 months, and from Mars back to Earth in about 2.5 years.
So the task we've been given for our project is to prepare Mars for human colonization. In order to accomplish this, we will be remotely controlling a construction site on Mars from Phobos, which is one of Mars's moons. We found the best place to put a colony on Mars is in underground lava tubes. These lava tubes are like buried hoses, and they protect us from radiation as well as the harsh conditions of Mars. In order to get into these lava tubes, however, we have to enter into collapsed skylights. And through these skylights, there have been a buildup of dust and dirt, creating a giant pile, which is blocking our entry. However, we plan on utilizing this giant pile of dirt to use 2 Mars builders, which are kind of like multi-purpose bulldozers, and change the pile of dirt into a giant ramp, which then we can safely enter the tube in.
One of the mission requirements for our project is that the crew need to be able to traverse Phobos and be able to do science missions while on Phobos. One of the ways in which we chose to do this is by having hoppers, which use compressed springs and actuators that basically hop around Phobos, as the name suggests. These vehicles are remotely controlled and do not carry any people, but due to the microgravity, they're able to compress the springs and release the springs to be able to hop in a slow motion and can traverse all of Phobos within a 12-hour mission.
For the risk assessment of Project Prometheus, we calculated the probability of mission success to be 95%. And this percent includes for the Crew A going to Phobos and carrying out their mission of preparing the Martian lava tubes for human colonization. For Crew A returning safely to Earth, the probability of success for that was 90%.